Hey, it's Roger. Welcome back to the demonstration kitchen at Hester Creek. I'm standing here with our newly released Ti Amo and Old Vine Brut. Very excited for these sparkling wines to be sharing them with you. And today we're going to show a couple different food preparations that go nicely with our wines. Talking about them quickly here first, we've got our Ti Amo, which is a Prosecco style. Essentially, it's secondary fermented in tank. So a little more fun. Price point is $19.95, approachable price point, meant to be enjoyed on the patio with friends. Certainly goes well with food, but also a really delicious wine just to drink on its own. Secondly, we've got our Old Vine Brut, which is 100% Old Vines Pinot Blanc, some of the oldest vines that we have on our property and in the South Okanagan. It's made with a secondary fermentation in the bottle, so traditional as they do in Champagne. A little more serious, I guess you could say, a little drier, and certainly goes really well with food. So we're going to put a couple quick things together here that are fairly classic pairings with sparkling type wines, things that you can enjoy that are quite simple. We've got some fresh beach oysters here, and we're just going to shuck a couple here. When you're shucking oysters, you want to get right into the membrane. Be careful that you've got your hands away and some napkins to kind of, so you can get right down on the oyster. So once you can get your shucking knife in there, the top shell pops off quite nicely, and often you've got meat on the bottom as well as on the top. You want to make sure that the whole oyster is dislodged from the shell because it kind of hangs on a bit. Get rid of the top shell, and if there's any excess juice or shell, just let it go into your cloth there. Last oyster here, get right in, come down on it very safely, and right in. It's got a little fresh Okanagan goat cheese here. Just a nice, simple little preparation. Crumble it over top of the oyster. These are great as just a little starter to put out for your guest pass, or just put in the middle of the table and have people enjoy at their leisure. And we've got a little fresh Italian parsley. Just a tiny little sprinkle on top. These are going to get fired in the oven on broil for 3 minutes or so while we put together our tapenade. Classic pairing, as I mentioned, with sparkling wine is a Mediterranean tapenade. So sun-dried tomato and olive tapenade. Lots of different salty, savory flavors with the acidity and the creaminess of the sparkling wines, and the kind of lemon flavors and citrusy notes cuts through a lot of that oily, salty flavors of traditional kind of Mediterranean cuisine. So we've got some black olives, sun-dried tomatoes in oil, some capers, fresh garlic, yum yum, for sure, shallots, Italian parsley, a little bit of salt, and we are going to add the balsamic vinegar and blitz that in your food processor. Turn it on, and as it's blitzing, just add your olive oil. Essentially until you get the desired consistency that you want, and it won't take long. You can have it looser or more kind of meaty, dependent on how you want to use it. Today I'm just going to be spreading it on some crostinis, which I've just spread a little bit of our Hester Creek Cabernet Franc grapeseed oil on, made from salubrious seeds in Summerland. And just like that, as little or as much as you like. Because this is gluten-free, dairy-free, it can sit in the fridge for as long as you like once you prepare it. A little more of the oil, just kind of to give it a little bit of nice look on the plate. We've got our oysters, which are now through. Just a fresh squeeze of lemon for that pop to tie in the sparkling a little bit. Fresh beach oysters with some Okanagan goat cheese, a little parsley and fresh lemon, and a classic sun-dried tomato and black olive tapenade. And I've got a glass of our Ti Amo here to pair with it. Cheers.